Hello, fabulous superstar Sagittarius. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of October 2024. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. It is a remarkable astrological month, without a doubt. Big moves happening in the sky now. Boy, is it a very special time, and it truly is so special now. Well, it is going to be on the 2nd of the month that we are going to have a solar eclipse. This will bring eclipse season to a close that began last month. And this solar eclipse is happening in a friendship part of your sky. The solar eclipse is speaking in a conversation of tension with Mars. So there is some frustration, but also a lot of motivation here as well. There may be a lot of energy being poured either towards a friend or towards a group endeavor now, and that can be rather powerful. It is ultimately going to be a sense of understanding and seeing differently whom it is that is for you or on your side and what your connection to them is. This isn't just about friendships, although that might be the case. It's also about your group involvement in professional group endeavors and understanding your role within those groups. Well, that might be part of the focus that comes into the mix now. With that Mars square, that can sometimes mean that the frustration is more experienced like anger, to be very straightforward with you. And it is that energy that is also highlighting social events. So just know if you have social events that you need to go to in the first days of the month, yeah, there might be some tension in the air or a moment that feels like it pushes some buttons, if you will. But regardless of what transpires, strive to stay conscious of your own motivations. Mars is now in a part of the sky that has to do with profound change, truth, transformation. But it's also power struggles and power games. And it is going to be this month that Mars will go into shadow. I'll talk about that separately in its own Mars retrograde special horoscope. So be on the lookout for that. And as we go along month to month as well. But for now, understand that Mars is here, but isn't only going to be here, but this area of the chart becomes an important area of focus right into the spring of next year. So, I'll have a lot more to say about this, and yet now you start to get a glimpse of how powerful this energy is and can be as we begin this month. And so we have that Mars tension there. And that's you uncovering some deeper truth. But I also think what you want to be careful with is what is happening in those dynamics with other people. You might be coming to it with an openness and trust and innocence, which is very lovely. However, it could be that without consciously realizing it, but some part of you might be conscious of it, you're saying something or doing something as part of some power struggle with this person. And I would invite you to not get into that, if only for yourself, if only for your well-being. Now, it's up to you to decide what's right for you to do in light of your unique circumstances. It takes two people to get into a power struggle. It takes two people to play that. And yet, it's up to you to see if you want to participate in anything like that. And if you see somebody else, trying to get you into a game like that, you can decide, no, that's not for me. You're a Sagittarian. Sagittarians normally don't like drama. And squares of Mars to an eclipse in a friendship part of the sky, yeah, that could be somebody trying to create some drama there. That somebody might be somebody else, but it might be you. And so strive to stay honest with yourself as you find the right balance and the right approach within the context of a social event or in the context of a friendship or group dynamic. You will find the best pathway forward for you. Now, over the course of the 9th and the 12th, we've got some really powerful energies here. On the 9th of the month, Jupiter, your ruling planet, will go retrograde in your opposite sign. And on the 12th, it is Pluto that goes direct in the sign just after yours. So that Jupiter is in a partnership part of the sky, and it's going to be there until about the middle of the coming year. So This can bring a focus on one-on-one alliances, maybe business partners or professional alliances. What I love about Jupiter stationary, when a planet is standing still, it's at the height of its power. It's closer to the Earth than it might otherwise be. And so there's a magnification of your own sense of your power because this is your ruling planet after all. And because it's your opposite sign of partnership, this could bring an alliance into focus, but it ultimately helps you to tap into an understanding of self. When a planet goes retrograde, its energies turn within. It becomes a lot more reflective, if you will. And it's a chance for you to look at who the key alliances are in your life and how you feel about them. I'll have more to say about this when we get to the love portion of this video in just a moment. It is on the 12th that Pluto goes direct. Now, this is huge. Since 2008, a nice long time, you have had Pluto moving through a part of the sky that speaks to what is taking place with your money that you earn, your money that you spend, and also healthy self-love and healthy self-esteem. This can represent a moment that feels like you're seeing what's worth doing for money and what isn't worth doing for money differently in some way now. And this is about getting clear on the momentum, the pathway, if you will, towards prosperity as you uniquely define it. But really, given that this is the last time in your life that you are going to have Pluto station here, full stop, station direct, certainly as well. Once we get to November, Pluto will leave this part of the sky not to return in this lifetime. It'll be over 200 years before Pluto comes back around to this area of the chart. And so this, in many ways, represents this culmination moment of the lessons you've been engaged in since 2008. And so now it's about getting your relationship with money right, getting honest with yourself, and getting clear about how you are going to define abundance or not. Your answers are going to be uniquely your own. It's about understanding what's superficial and what really matters. And that really can be such a game changer now, where you're able to honestly evaluate your own actions, your own decisions. And this part of the sky also has to do with healthy self-love, healthy self-esteem. And it's about getting to some very deep, essential conviction that you are worthy of your own love. On the 17th of the month, we have this month's full moon in a part of the sky for you that has to do with what you want in your heart of hearts in every area of life. Now, that includes in terms of romance and flirtation. Again, I'll talk about that in love. I think love is going to be really important to the Sagittarius out there. But it's also about a life that you love. It's about happiness, joy, and creative fulfillment. The children in your life, or you feeling like a big kid, is highlighted here. Now, that full moon is hand in hand with Chiron. So there's a heightened vulnerability at this time. And that can feel uncomfortable. But what we also have is Mars squaring this full moon. Just like Mars was squaring the eclipse, it's squaring this full moon as well. And that square can suggest some frustrations that feel very much on the surface as well. And motivation for things to be different, for things to change, and aligning with the life that you love that much more. I'm going to invite you to be a little bit careful where it comes to gambling. And that is because this part of the sky speaks to gambling. And you can see here, there's this vulnerable energy. There's this energy of frustration, not the best climate to be getting your casino on, put it that way. So pace yourself at this time, but of course, always do what feels right for you to do in light of your unique circumstances. Now, where it comes to matters of love, let me say, we have that full moon. In addition to what I mentioned, that part of the sky has to do with romance and flirtation. So you getting your flirt on can really be a very powerful catalyst experience, if you will. But then what we also have is Jupiter going retrograde in your opposite sign. And that is about bringing healing and hope to the context of love. So for those of you open to meeting someone new, I love these energies, especially that Jupiterian energy. Remember, you're in a period of time now where whether it's connecting with new people or healing certain relationships or moving forward from not good relationships, well, all of those are especially blessed now. And so, especially if you're open to meeting someone new, you can see how Jupiter in your opposite sign can be that much more hopeful and that much more healing. With the full moon and you getting your flirt on, yeah, it might feel like you're putting yourself out there. It might have you feeling vulnerable. And yet, there's so much you're learning about yourself. There's a thrill to it now that can help you to understand what you're really going for in the context of love. For those of you just starting to date someone, well, Jupiter going retrograde can be wonderful to understand more deeply what this person brings, how you feel about what they bring, what the connection is more deeply. Is there potential here for partnership? But it is that full moon that I think is going to get you very honest with what you're feeling in your heart as to whether or not you really think there's a pathway forward with this person. There are certain types of vulnerabilities that are good, others that really are unnecessary. And you're about to find out which is which in the context of this person that you're dating. And from there, you'll have a deeper understanding. Is this someone to navigate forward with or not? I think the energies this month will tell you which is which. And for those of you in an established bond, I love that energy of Jupiter in particular because it's such healing, hopeful energy for you and the person that you love. And it can help put aside challenges that might have been there before. But for all that, for that very small percentage out there, if you felt for a while that maybe you're not in the right relationship for you, I think that sense is going to stir strongly for you now. You get to look within, you get to examine what it is and why it is you feel that you are still in a situation that might feel like that. And your answers are going to be uniquely your own, but Jupiter here now does help bring healing and hope. And that healing and hope either can be to the relationship itself, helping you to feel closer, or it can be the hope and faith that it takes to go another way. What I love about this month for you, there's so much here. It's a powerful and meaningful astrological moment. I'm going to say, I love the energy of, well, Jupiter in your opposite sign, standing still at the height of its power, going retro. This is about helpful alliances as an overall trend. Are you a helpful alliance to others as well? Is it a give and take? Whether it's business or personal or romantic now, there is a lot of support there. There are people who want to align with you. And with the retrograde, you just might find very useful reunions now that help you to feel that much more connected to others. Well, thank you so much for watching. You can get a video like this each and every week for each and every sign for as low as just $3 a month with Choose Your Membership rate. Higher tiers get you things like all access passes to Synchronicity University events, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the Superstar space at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. Links are in the description below. Thank you again for watching. It'll be a great month. Enjoy.